With GTA 6 lurking around the corner, a big talking point is of course how realistic Rockstar aims to make the game, especially when it comes to the driving. GTA 5 has very arcade-like physics with inner controls and super grippy cars. Today, however, I want to explore a GTA where the realism has been dialed up quite a bit to perhaps give us a glimpse of what GTA 6 driving physics could feel like. So I installed the DriveV mod, which overhauls the handling of almost every vehicle in the game, giving softer suspension for heavier vehicles, removing the downforce for all cars except for supercars, and of course, more realistic crash physics. Now, in my opinion, this mod kind of feels like a blend between GTA 4 and GTA 5 when it comes to the driving. Today I want to explore this a bit. I want to try stunting with this mod. I want to see if we can escape a 5-star police chase with these physics, which is gonna get interesting, I think. Now, a couple of things that does get improved with this mod is actually the top speed of all the cars. They actually get a lot faster, and my car is already smoking. It's kind of broken already. This is one of the first things that I want to talk a little bit about. Realistic crash physics. Right, so I can definitely see Rockstar adding more realistic physics to their next game, but I feel like they won't, to an extent where it's too extreme. Like, if I'm just driving right here and I just spin out, like, my car's done for. Like, now I gotta go repair it, find a new one. Like, the wheel is all bent. If I crash one more time, it's probably gonna make it even worse, and yes, it did. Now, I think the majority of players would be annoyed if their car kept breaking down just because they spun out and hit a little pole. I feel like it would take away from the other progression in the game, like advancing through the storyline, through a mission, having to reset or find a new car, like in this case. Now, from a stunting standpoint, I wouldn't mind slightly more realism. The only thing that I need is in-air controls, much like we have here. However, as you can see, it is way slower with this mod here. With the removal of the snappy turning and the basically toned down rotation on left and right, you can barely turn your bike or your car in mid-air. Like, if it gets slowed down slightly, I wouldn't mind, but if they completely remove it, I would not enjoy that very much because it's a big part of stunting. But stunting is also a big part of GTA Online, where you have stunt races and other crazy modes, and it's safe to say that Rockstar has made at least some money from GTA Online. So I don't really see them adding a fully realistic handling model to the driving. It just doesn't make sense to me. And yeah, the handling of this bike is also very, very different. As you can see, I can barely pull wheelies when I'm going at high speeds, which I typically can with a body here. I can kind of pop the front tire if you get some help with a uphill like this. But it's pretty safe to say that you wouldn't be able to do bump stunts, at least not to the same scale as you can right now with this handling. But let's head over to a spot where we can test this out a bit. So a very classic stunt and an example of something that I would most likely try in GTA 6 as soon as it's out is a simple bump into a parking garage or on top of some kind of platform. If you're not familiar with stunting, it's a very common technique to hit an edge with an angle to bounce your bike further. I'm also gonna switch over to the Hakuchu, which can handle generally higher bumps on the vanilla version as well. This bike cannot hit this bump. So here's the Hakuchu. Yeah, this one has higher acceleration, more speed, because this mod is also meant to reflect the real-life counterparts of these vehicles better, meaning similar handling or at least similar top speeds. And I'm pretty sure this bike would be faster than a Bati in real life. So let's see if we can pull a wheelie. We can. Now, inner controls, still very, very slow, but we can definitely reach the garage. Don't die, please. Now we're good. Yeah, being able to bump your bike like this and fly further would be a deal breaker, I feel like, for stunting in GTA 6. Well, maybe not a full deal breaker, but you would basically lose out on a lot of stunts if something like this would be possible. I'm sure that will be. I mean, running into poles will for sure be in the next game. What I meant to say was, if something like this is not possible in the next game, bumping with your bike, then we would lose out on a lot of stunts and it wouldn't be as fun. So let's see, you go way slower rotation in the air, at least for the bikes. I'm gonna try some more inner controls now with cars and see how that's different. But let me do some high-speed driving here with a bike, just to test this mod out a bit more. Now, you actually lose a lot of grip just from turning like this. You can see the skid marks on the ground. I don't think that would be the case in real life. Tell me if I'm wrong, but I feel like a sports bike should be able to take a turn without starting to drift, you know? Yeah, this mod does not get rid of gliding, that's for sure, because you can still increase your speed by putting a wheelie, which means that we should be able to glide still. Just won't be able to turn as much left and right in mid-air. How did I not fall off the bike? Yeah. Our brakes aren't really as strong with this mod. Now let's drive something like a baller. As you can see, the turning is slowed down so much on this to better reflect the weight of the car, and it definitely just decreased the steering ratio to how much you can turn at higher speeds, and also delay steering input, so it's not as snappy as it would be normally. You know, all the cars in this game are kind of snappy because they have the very arcade handling, and all cars, I'm not gonna say all cars, but the majority of the cars in this game do kind of feel the same when it comes to handling. But with this SUV, if I begin to steer at higher speeds, I will eventually begin to skid, and yeah, I won't be able to counter it basically. We will just spin out, which I think is fine. I think it's fine to add more realism to the more boring cars, if that makes sense. Like, I think the supercars and the sports cars should still be able to turn quite nimble as they can now in GTA 5. Now, with the increased torque and more realism, you also get more wheel spin in the rear when you accelerate. So if I pull the handbrake and I accelerate, you can see that we power slide a bit more. We get into a better drift and we can better counter it and sort of hold the drift, which is really, really nice. It definitely adds more realism, of course. In GTA 5, you can't really accelerate too much if you're at a very steep angle, but as you can see here, the torque is definitely there, and so is the damage handling. And the car is also much, much faster. Let's check out the top speed here. See how fast we can go. We do have some downforce, but I feel like it's decreased a little bit. Driving feels pretty similar. This would actually be great. Yeah, we lost grip right there. You can save it though. Nice drift. Oh shit, yeah. The rear end definitely kicks out a lot more when you have more horsepower, like in this car right here, which I think is fun. And correct me if I'm wrong, didn't actually Rockstar tweak the handling of all the supercars that are rear-wheel drive to act more like all-wheel drive? At least in GTA Online, I feel like I've read that somewhere, that people were complaining, or I guess players were struggling with the handling of rear-wheel driven cars with a lot of power, so they made them easier to drive by turning them into essentially an all-wheel drive car. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like I've heard that somewhere. And also, I've just lost my front tire here. Yeah, sorry about that. My brakes aren't the best at the moment. Dude, you just... That's on you. You just ran into my car, buddy. Now, let me spawn in a very boring sedan here and see if I can escape my 1-star cop chase. Later on, I'll be doing a 5-star cop chase with a supercar to see if I can even survive driving for like a minute, because they'll be crashing me like crazy with how aggressive the cops are in this game. And yeah, here you can also see much softer suspension here. More similar to, yeah, GTA 4. And yeah, top speed not great. Cornering definitely worse. You can hear the tires just skidding taking that corner. But yeah, I'm curious what all of you want. Would you prefer more realistic physics like this, or kind of just stick to what GTA 5 has now, which I think will be the approach that they'll take, at least for the majority of the cars. And yeah, especially when it comes to the crashing, because I think, yeah, that little tap right there basically destroyed my car. Now, I think if I just crash into a wall here, this is probably gonna... Yeah, it's gonna catch on fire by crashing 2 times, which I don't feel it would be very fun to drive, to be honest. So this guy's stupid. He just parked next to my burning car. So I feel like for that, I'm just gonna take his car instead. What is this? A Dinka Blista. Alright. Now, they also handle a lot differently off-road. So I want to test a couple of off-road tracks. And, oh, wait, we got water down here. I'm curious how we would handle in mud. Would this car even be able to go through here? We're almost stuck. Come on, front wheels. You got this. Yeah, this car is front-wheel drive, but we're... Yeah, we're making it through, but just barely. Look at how slippery it is. It's really slippery. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get stuck here. Yeah. My front tire isn't bent, it's just the hood is a bit bent. Yeah, things like this is why I don't think they'll go the full realistic approach, especially with the game being in Florida. You have the Everglades, a lot of swamp areas, a lot of water and mud. I don't think you want to get stuck with your car like this, but I could be very wrong. They might just go fully realism, and then it is what it is. You're stuck in a swamp with gators, I guess. I personally wouldn't mind if they literally just took GTA 5's car handling and copied everything over to GTA 6. But yeah, I guess we'll see. It's gonna be very, very interesting. The only thing we've seen driving-wise is like 2 or 3 clips from the trailer, but there's about a 99% chance that that is just, yeah, fully animated. For the trailer, of course. I think they're driving something similar to this, like an Imponte Dukes. The rear-wheel drive, look at this, you can almost drift with the help of this mod, which is pretty funny, actually. Drifting is not really something that is great in GTA 5. With GTA Online, obviously, they released the drift cars and the drift tires. Made it a bit more fun, but yeah, the vanilla version, you couldn't really drift cars that well. But should we try and get into a 5-star police chase with a muscle car. This is never gonna work, but I just want to see how long I can survive for without the car blowing up. So I got myself a 5-star wanted level. We are just overlooking the city here. And yeah, let's see how far I can make it. I'm gonna aim for the Maze Bank. Let's see if I can make it there. My chances are insanely low. Because yeah, we have the SWAT team, my tires are gonna pop. You're gonna ram into me. Oh no, this is never gonna work. Why did I start off-road as well? It's literally so hard to drive here. Now I'm curious if...
I'm dying. Help me.
I was gonna say, if the police will struggle to drive too, and I just looked back and he's legit upside down. So I think the answer is yes, which might be good for me. Oh, that was not good. Oh, we just bent the hood from that tiny drop. Yeah, you can see they are struggling quite a bit with the handling as well. They're slipping and sliding just as much as I am. I feel like this car is actually very fast. It's really fast, but... Oh, I got really close to the pedestrian. Yeah, dude, pedestrians turning into you. I really hope that's not the case in GTA 6. We're getting closer to the Maze Bank. Car is still intact. I managed to dodge. Oh, dude, imagine if I would have gone under the truck right there. That would have been sick. No, instead I just bent my car even more. Okay, we managed to dodge the majority of cops. Oh, no. I think I just popped 2 tires. At least one. Yeah, that's not good. The engine is also smoking. We just popped 2 tires. Come on, the Maze Bank is right there. Just get me there and we're good. Turn! Oh, God. Okay, we can't turn that way, so we're gonna have to keep going here. Oh, it's about to blow up in a second. Yeah, I think my car would have like maybe 1 bent wheel at max and like a couple of scratch marks. I think we actually made it. The Maze Bank is right here. We don't have wheels on one side, but we're here. It's actually quite surprising. Yeah, I mean, I'd be dead if I didn't have God mode on, obviously. Oh, no. That's not very good. We're on fire. It's time to bail. It's time to bail, buddy. Oh, that was sick. We bailed right at the last minute. Or last second, rather. Okay. It's time to get away. They'll never find me up here. Just gonna borrow this car. Thank you very much. I don't think I've ever hit this jump right here. Oh, God. I can't turn the car in there. Yeah, that is not very fun. Your car just smoking straight away from 1 crash. Yeah, I thought it would be fun to just explore this mod a little bit today. Just kind of drive around, get a different feeling. Maybe, like I said, prepare ourselves for GTA 6 of how it potentially could look like. And also just share my thoughts a little bit on what I want from GTA 6. Because I've seen a lot of people ask, like, do you think gliding will be in GTA 6? I doubt it, since it is a glitch in this game that they just decided to keep. Yeah, I'm curious to see what you all think. Let me know in the comments. What would you like to see GTA 6 do differently or similarly to GTA 5? But that's gonna be for today. I hope you guys did enjoy it, and I will catch you guys later. Take care.